The Kind of Funny Thanksgiving Weekend Shirt Stravaganza is happening this Thursday, November 24th through Monday, November 28th. You can go to kindoffunny.com/store and get a whole bunch of shirts that are only available this weekend. We're talking Vita Island. We're talking Super Porty. We're talking The Year Dismissed. There's a whole bunch of Colin shirts. It's going to be a good time. You should get one. Get one for you. Get one for your friends. It's going to be good. Anyway, Kind of Funny Shirt Stravaganza. I just like saying that word.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Greg Miller. Did you know the holidays are coming up? That's right. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Groundhog Day, they're all right around the corner. And if you need the perfect gift, let me tell you about Movement Watches. We get it. Holiday shopping can be tough, but thanks to Movement Watches, all that gift-giving anxiety can disappear with the press of a button. These watches make the perfect purchase for just about anyone in your life, guy or girl. And remember, they start at only $95. You've heard me, that's right, me, Greg Miller, talk about Movement Watches before, and I'll tell you why. Because they sent us a whole bunch of them. I got this cool black one with a red face. Kevin, you seen this watch I'm wearing sometimes?
I have.
I only wear it with the suits because I want to look very, very nice.
That's my same policy with my watch.
Exactly, because I look like a schlub every other day. But when I want to step it up and say, impress the in-laws, I wear the watch. Now, you might say, Greg, you're not married, but you understand what I'm driving at. Jen's got parents. God damn it. Can you just keep up with the references I'm making, ladies and gentlemen? Movement watches start at just $95. At department stores, you'd be looking at $400 to $500. So it's simple. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/kinda. Ladies and gentlemen, that's mvmtwatches.com/kinda. This watch has a really clean design. Seriously, Kevin's been getting compliments left and right about it. Now's the time to step up your watch game. mvmtwatches.com/kinda. Watch what happens next. That's not they don't have a tagline. I made that up.
You can stop now.
Is that a good one?
No.
Oh God, they do have a tagline. Join the movement.
Oh, and I like it.
Yeah,
too.
I like that one too. Next topic.
Oh my God.
This one comes from patreon.com/kindafunny, where our friend Aziz, hey Aziz, as always, gave us a topic. And this one applies to you, Miss Movies.
Awesome. I'm excited.
He says, animated films. What are some of your favorites? Do you like them in general? Why or why not? I feel like Grawlin, that's you and me, Colin, that's our relationship name.
No, I heard.
You aware of that?
That's a thing?
Yeah.
I love it.
I feel like Grawlin don't really care about animated movies at all, while Nim love them. Nim, that's you guys, by the way.
Secret Nim.
At all while Nim love them and
movie.
always check out the new ones. Have you seen some of the critically acclaimed ones like Iron Giant or Inside Out? I feel like in most recent years, people love to complain about how there are no original ideas in movies, but there have been plenty of original stories portrayed in recent films, parentheses, such as Paranorman or Kubo.
Kubo and
Kubo?
the two
I
saw
strings.
Kubo.
And the two strings.
night.
How was that?
But
Holy
a lot of people refuse to see them or acknowledge them because they're animated. How come? Love you guys.
I love that his critically acclaimed movies are
Iron
Inside Out
Giant.
and Iron Giant. Like Iron Giant, I get, but Inside Out. Granted,
very
yes.
critically
Here's what
critically
happens with
acclaimed,
Inside Out, or I'm sorry, Iron Giant all the time. People tell me all the time, do you want to see the best Superman film of all time? I'm like,
Yes.
yes, I do. And they're like, go see Iron Giant. And I'm like, no, that isn't a Superman film, and it's about a robot. Fuck you.
But it has been Diesel.
I'm just surprised
Does
by
have
it because
Vin Diesel.
isn't Iron Giant like 15 years old now?
Yeah, that's pretty old,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm just surprised that there wasn't one more in recent.
Well, Iron
I
Giant
just
is
saw
like
that.
is one of the like cult.
I remember
It's a
the
Diesel
commercials
thing,
for it.
it's
I want to say that there was a song on the soundtrack that I really liked.
It was Harry Connick Jr. probably, wasn't it? Because didn't he do the voice? And doesn't he
Vin
always?
Diesel
isn't
did
that
the
always
voice.
But he's Harry Connick Jr. was the dad, wasn't he?
That's crazy. Vin
know
Diesel
who
was
that
the
is.
voice of Iron Giant?
Yeah.
That movie was so long ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big deal
Super
yet.
So was
Nah.
Fast and Furious 1.
I mean, that was 4 years after Saving Private Ryan. He was in that.
But he wasn't a big deal in that. He got his start there. But I'm not thinking I'm going to make the best Superman movie of all time on about a robot. I'm going to put Vin Diesel in there. When he gets to Groot, you're like, that's really funny. That's great. That's
Yeah,
what it should
you
be.
made it. Good job.
Yeah.
Vin.
Grawlin, how do we feel about animated films?
I mean, I have no aversion to them. My brother is an animator.
He makes kind of fun of the animated series.
Yeah, he makes kind of fun of the animated series, and he works
More
for Sesame
episodes are
Workshop, and he's
coming.
worked for a bunch of TV shows you've seen. But I I don't actually. When I was young, I really liked anime a lot. Bubblegum Crisis, Robotech, Akira, and all of these kinds of things. These more, and then the Studio Ghibli stuff. I mean, I really like that stuff a lot. I think they're really good. But I do when someone's like, "Do you want to go see a movie?" and then it's a cartoon. I'm like, no.
Exactly right. That's like, where I am too.
I'm not saying it for any other. Like, I'm not saying. It's just I don't see enough movies. This is what I wanted to say before when we were talking about film generally, as we've been for most of the show. I respect the shit out of film, and I think it's something that I've expressed to Nick many times. I want to learn more about. I like them. They are not my ideal form of storytelling. I'd much rather watch a television series or read a book. So it's one of those things where it's like, down the list for me. And then when I get there, I'm like, all right, I'm there. I'm going to go see Arrival. I'm really excited about Arrival. Great movie, by the way. And,
really good movie. I like that.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to go see Hacksaw Ridge and then Star Wars, and that's probably it. And I probably want to see I don't even know what the fuck another movie is that I want to see after that. Like
2017 Wonder Woman.
That's how no, I'm not seeing Wonder Woman. That's
you
totally,
love Gal Gadot. You're telling me they don't know how much you love Gal Gadot.
She's a complete distraction in the movie that I did see.
She's about to have another baby. Be nice to her.
So when I get down to that list, I'm like, well, there's only a handful of movies that I'm going to see because I just don't have the wherewithal to go and do this over and over again and pay attention enough. So the cartoons therefore fall down the list even further. I'm sure these Pixar and DreamWorks movies are mostly fantastic, or
these Pixar movies.
I'm sure Pixar's
DreamWorks hater.
But to me, it's like, I don't know. I have to get way down the fucking rabbit hole to even consider seeing one of these movies. And I know that some of these movies are supposed to be great. Inside Out, I heard, was really, really, really sad.
From what I heard, Inside Out hit too close to home for you. It's too much. The voices in your head making you all sad. You don't want that. You don't need that.
That's real funny. Making fun of mental illness.
I'm not making fun. I'm making fun of Colin Moriarty.
You can joke about whatever you want.
I mean, that's what the
Yesterday in the office, you said alcohol is the only thing that makes you happy. I assure you, that's not the message of Inside Out. No, that's the same thing. What was the bunny movie where she's a cop?
Zootopia.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Zootopia. Max Landis comes on the GameOverGreggy show. Zootopia. And finally, the other day, I'm coming back from Montreal. So as I always do with the films I want to see, I watch them on the back of a fucking airplane screen because that's where they're meant to be
viewing
seen.
Experience.
And I watch Zootopia and I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Racism's bad. Thank you very much.
That's what it's about?
Pretty much. Yeah, okay, great. I'm glad we all need to come together. We've heard this message before. I like the sloth bit. Yes, I did. It's a fine movie.
I believe they tackled it in Remember the Titans.
They did. They did.
The first movie to ever be about racism.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Colin. Nobody ever sits back and says, man, Hayden Panettiere, great on Nashville, but really, Remember the Titans is the really
she was the daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah.
She was great in that movie.
I love Zootopia.
Zootopia, fine.
It's not the best animated film of the year, though.
I watched Finding
What do you think
Dory.
it is?
I watched Finding Dory. I'm also like, cool.
The best animated film of the year is Kubo and the Two Strings.
And I can give you that. So last night, thanks to one Paula Gallagher, Kevin's girlfriend. Fiance. I've
lost my fiance.
We went to go see Kubo and the Two Strings, and it's a movie that I've wanted to see, but it was one of those ones where I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like make an event. We're not doing any kind of funny reacts to this. It's not like something I have to do. But then we went to go watch it, and man, I fucked up. I should have watched this movie so much sooner.
How long's it been out?
I don't know. I want to say like 5 months.
Month? No.
Since
I think it just came out.
I thought that
July, maybe?
When you were like, I'm going to
July.
see
Yeah,
this.
real ago.
I'm going to see this at ILM. Paula Gallagher, of course, working on a mini feature film. I thought, oh, this is something that's exclusive, new. I didn't realize it's been out a while.
I mean, it's newish. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. But it's not
okay.
on Blu-ray yet. So it's
Is it because the name's so close to Cujo?
probably
Nobody
not.
wants to watch a movie about the dog eating people.
they
No,
don't.
I mean,
Colin, back me up.
it's abstract is why, and it's made
one of
by
the
it's
worst
not made by
stories.
Pixar or DreamWorks, so it's kind
Laika.
of like it's Laika, which is the other
motion.
guys,
I'm looking
right?
it up.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
they made Box Trolls.
yeah, their movies are all right.
Totally wrong. I'm not
But
playing-
they
I'm
make
not
stop
playing it
motion movies, and it's a different type of animation, but it's fantastic. And like, there's an art form there that is often lost. Like we usually see nowadays, CG movies is just that's what animation is. It's just like glorified video game cutscenes. But before we'd get the hand drawn stuff or things like Nightmare Before Christmas or whatever. This is kind of like that taken on into 2016. And me and Kevin saw Box Trolls, and it was like, I appreciate the work put into it.
Daniel Radcliffe's movie.
right.
Justin Timberlake's movie?
Harry Potter.
No, that was
NSYNC.
Trolls. That's Trolls.
Which one?
Trolls.
Backstreet Boys?
Box Trolls was
Box Trolls was a
Elle
couple years
Fanning,
ago.
And I forget who else was
yeah,
in it.
and I don't know. It was whatever.
Open your
Like,
phone.
Box Trolls was
Open it.
super okay.
Oh, now you want to look at it?
Kubo was
Kubo, that's how I was playing.
Kubo's on
Amazing.
another level.
Right.
On another
KUBO.
level.
I'm sure he wasn't it. Maybe he was.
I took my daughter to see Kubo.
Really?
And I took her also to see Storks. And at the end of Storks, which came out later, I said to her, which one did you like better, Kubo and the Two Strings or Storks? And she said Storks.
And you're like,
and
"Get
I
out
was
of the
like,
car."
No,
How old is she?
You are not my daughter. She's going to be 6 next month.
Man, see, this is one of those things that was interesting to me because I didn't know much about Kubo. I just knew it, like looking at it, I'm like, this is something I'm gonna like. Didn't even watch the trailer, didn't know anything about it. So going into it last night, I was kind of like, all right, whatever. When it first started, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It took about 3 minutes for me to be like, oh, this is fantastic. And in the same way that Iron Giant is the best Superman movie, this is the best video game movie that ever existed.
Which one?
Kubo.
What is Kubo about? I don't understand what it's about.
So Kubo it's this kid, and there's a lot of backstory about his grandpa killing his grandpa's really bad, killed his dad,
Yes.
and he needs to live with his mom who like ran away and is hiding him, and he needs to then go find mystical armor and mystical sword and a mystical helmet to be able to fight his grandpa. And it's like, okay, cool. So it's a
Yeah.
video game. And then he goes out, and each one of those things he has to beat a boss essentially to get this thing. And I'm like, holy crap. This is freaking awesome. And the characters were so well written, and everything about it, I was like, I kept being impressed by it. And the stop motion animation was like, they really took it to a next level because there was actually choreographed fight scenes. Like it wasn't just like the typical.
Oh no, it blows your mind when you
shit
think
that
that people
you're
had to do that, like little movement by little movement, frame by frame.
And then in the credits, they show you them doing it.
Yeah,
And
it's fucking wild. It takes years.
It makes you appreciate it that much more. But whereas with Box Trolls, I watched that and I was like, all right, the movie was fine. Why'd you put that much work into it? With this, I was just like, man, like that was worth it. This movie's fantastic.
Maybe they had to make Box Trolls in order to make this film, because sometimes that happens
Yeah,
too.
that could make sense.
But I totally, if I could cosplay, like in terms of make cosplay, I would be one of the sisters.
Oh my
Because
God.
they are the coolest things I've ever seen on camera in animation.
And that's the
recent
thing. I'm a
years.
little shocked that you brought your kid to it because I mean, obviously you might not have known going into it, but
Right.
this was a dark movie.
is dark.
And it's one of those examples where I'm like, was this even a kids movie? Or was it just an animated?
See, but
Right.
that's the thing. That's
That's a
the
good
best
question.
animated. That's a type of animated movie. The ones that hit on both those levels, right? It's always why people love The Simpsons or properties like that, where it's like it attracts kids because it's animated and funny and goofy, but then it's very smartly written and gets the parents involved too. This, as a side note, there's a shout out to a documentary called I forget what it's called, but it's about Aardman, who I think it's Aardman, the company that makes Wallace and Gromit, and it's a great behind the
my
scenes
brother just
documentary
watched
about
this.
them. It's awesome. They also made Chicken Run, all sorts of other
Shout out to Chicken
very
Run.
British stop motion animation movies. I mean, I think great animated movies. I love animated movies. I love them because you can do something in that medium you simply cannot do with live action. They captivate you in a way that even the best movies with CG just don't do. Even movies like you look at movies like anything they're doing with Marvel right now, right? Like the Avengers or Doctor Strange. All those movies are great and they're fun and they're great in their own right in that medium, but they don't really hold a candle to The Incredibles, right? They just don't. Like that movie is fucking almost like perfect. It's as close to perfect as you possibly can get. And it's because of that from the first frame on, you're just in that world and there's nothing that takes you out except for some of the hair effects, which they still have yet to nail in CG. But I love that. I mean, everything Pixar's done on some level. Pixar's the gold standard.
They really are, and that's the
amazing.
thing is, with Colin, with what you're saying about like not wanting to waste your movie going experiences on animated movies, like I get that to an extent, but I think Pixar is the one exception to that, and I feel like there's other people every once in a while that do have a hit. Disney in recent years has been very kind of like they're trying and they're doing stuff, and I thought Zootopia was a breakout for them of like, man, this is almost Pixar standards, but it wasn't quite Pixar standards, you know?
It was.
And Pixar has a couple 9s instead of 10s.
Sure. Like Inside Out was Pixar, right? Or no,
Yeah.
was that, yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was great, but I don't think it's the best movie they've ever done. I think I love the message behind it. I like what it stood for, but it wasn't on the level of like. Actually, I think Up was Maybe Up was on the same level as that.
Oh, Up's amazing.
Up's really good.
Up's
Up was good, but
Inside Out's really good too.
It was good, but then 9 out of 10, right? It doesn't have that extra little
I
this
give
is
Up
going to
10.
be amazing.
I don't know
Inside
what
Out.
it is.
You give Up a 10?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about animated films that I can't get behind. Where when I see it, it is a detriment to what it's going to become, and I assume it's kind of like my stupid rules that I have that I don't really apply.
Space.
Exactly. It's space. It's medieval times. Whatever. It's not for some reason when they go into an animated thing, it's not that great. But I am what we were talking about earlier, right? Where it's like, okay, cool. It's Toy Story 2 or 3 or whatever, and I'm like, well, I fucking really like Toy Story 1. I should go see the rest of them. Whereas like Aladdin 5, Jafar needs glasses, I'm not as interested in.
Oh, it's a mistake on your part. I mean, the thing I will say about animated movies, I know obviously a lot of people know that I love them. I love Disney. I love all this stuff. But it's not like I'm not critical of them. I think that Pixar is the golden standard. And I think they are the ones that do it right. And I think that overall, there's been a lot. When it gets to the sequels, more often than not, they're not great. Toy Story is the one exception. I think the Toy Story trilogy is perfect. It's one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time.
But it's
when
so
you look
sad.
at Cars 2, when you look at
Cars 2.
Monsters University, not a bad movie,
Cars
but
1.
not a good movie. Cars 1 was good.
It was terrible.
No, Cars 1 was good.
I did not like that movie.
But Cars 2 was bad.
Let me tell
know?
you
It was
something
a
about
sequel.
Cars 2 real quick. My daughter had to get a cavity filled, and so they gave her the gas. And they said, "What's your favorite movie? We'll put it on." And she says, "Cars 2." And I was like, "No." And then, so they put it on. A year later, I shit you not, she has to get another cavity filled. We go in, gas is on. What's your favorite movie? We'll put it on. Cars 2. And I'm like, how did we come to this? How is this
2
happening?
You need to raise her better.
I have
You know
this
what I mean?
child
That's
giving
like
this kid
What is
candy.
happening?
Colin's son saying his favorite video game is Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, you need to raise them right.
God, I
I'm
would send
I
that kid away
tried.
in 2 seconds. That kid would
Put him back in.
disappear.
Put him back in.
But Inside Out is a movie that I feel like maybe I'm dead inside because I didn't like it as much as other people liked it. And I don't know if that's because I'm a mom and so I see it through a different lens. All the people that I was listening to, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so sad about this part. And I was watching it and I was thinking, that's just not sad to me. I don't know why. And I feel it makes me sad when I don't have those emotions because I want to experience what other people are experiencing, but I also want that to be genuine. I don't want to, try to force it.
Do you feel like that was because that particular movie was a little aimed more toward younger kids, like kids?
Probably.
I don't think that was necessarily for adults. I think that movie was written as like a, hey.
Really?
Yeah, I think
That
so.
movie had some real adult themes and some
But to me,
complex things to understand.
too, but to me, it was the whole point of that movie was to tell kids that if you're suffering from something like this, like it's okay, like you can you can get help, you can deal with it, right? And I think it was aimed specifically toward kids because of the way it was told. It was told through the eyes of the younger girl. I didn't think that, like personally, I think I'm on your level too, where I didn't. I don't think, and maybe it's because I'm not suffering from something like that, but maybe I just didn't. I didn't vibe with it. It didn't get me. In much the same way. It got every 5-year-old that was in the theater though crying their asses off. Yeah.
See, what's interesting about this, I mean, I've read a lot about all the movies, and it sounds like Inside Out was the one that didn't hit with the kids as much
Really?
as the rest of them. Yeah,
Okay, it's complex.
Because I think
It is
it
complex.
was a bit more adult in subject nature, and like they liked the characters, and like they looked funny and did funny things, but like from a plot standpoint, like
Right.
it didn't really like compute.
But kids don't care about
as
plots.
much. No, I
They
know,
care about
but
bright
with a lot of the
fucking shit,
Pixar movies,
things
but
they can
that-
put in their mouth.
It's a fair point of like what it means to you. Like I love the
Yeah.
Toy Story thing because that is like that hits me in my core. Talking
that
about
also
nostalgia, talking
came
about growing
out-
up is my life.
For you, that came out at the right time of your life because it was like you were Andy through the whole thing.
Oh, and
in
that's
terms of
so
age.
true. That's so true. I mean, when Toy Story 3 hit, like I've said this many times in the show, like I've never cried at a movie more than Toy Story 3. Every time if I see it on, I'm just like, oh no. Like it gives me a visceral feeling of I can't watch this right now. It hurts too much.
The part where they're going into the
The incinerator,
fire.
but it's
Yeah.
really the end though. It's the end.
When Andy drives away.
he's, like,
Gives the toys to
He's
the-
growing up and like he has to,
Spoiler.
even right now I feel like I'm tearing up. It's crazy, man. And they did that though, and that's the magic of Pixar.
That's I think is what they did really well with that film is that because I was older when I saw that movie and it was nostalgic for me. It did make me think of those days when I was younger. It did make me think of playing with toys and the attachment you have to that world that you create in your own brain with these toys. So they did that. They did a good job at that. But again, yeah, I mean, Inside Out was complex and it probably was a little hard for a lot of people to grasp. So I think maybe just missed the mark a little bit.
But what I was saying though about Pixar is they are the golden standard, and despite a couple, I don't even want to say misses, but just not surefire hits. I think that they do everything right, but it's all the other people, the animated movies. There's the Iron Giants, and there's the things like Kubo that I think do stand out. But overall, animated movies do, going back to what Colin was saying, they do kind of like dumb it down a little bit in some ways.
Sure.
Even things like Secret of Nim, which I absolutely love. I feel like it's missing something. And I feel like a lot of the Disney movies, specifically like the 90s Disney princess era, those movies and like even things like Lion King and Aladdin, like they feel like they're missing critical plot points to get to where they need to go. And because they need to be, because they are aimed at kids, they never quite get where they have to. Whereas Pixar takes its time and really crafts the whole thing. I think that all the other animated movies kind of like speed through a lot of stuff and just kind of like, oh, these two characters, yep, now they're best friends because they just met.
They've met once, now they're in love, now they move on.
Exactly. And it's like, it kind of like just moves a little too fast. I liked that Frozen kind of parodied that a bit.
Yeah, no, that was a great point. Yeah,
In terms of the whole like, wow, these characters just met, now they're in love.
They make fun of that.
And
Yeah.
they totally like switched off. But I feel like that was Disney attempting to be on that
Self-aware.
adult level and self-aware like Pixar movies are. But still, it's very rare that the animated movies kind of hit in all those things. Like another animated classic is the Transformers movie from 1984, and even that, it's like there's certain points that feels like it reminds you when it's a cartoon and not an animated film.
Sure.
You know, and I feel like Pixar really hits on that animated film level.
There is a great film that came out to Netflix that's animated called The Little Prince. It's one that came out this year, and I feel like I hope it will be up for Oscar contention, but I don't know if it will because of the fact that it just came out to Netflix. But it's a really sweet story about a little
Fantastic.
girl and her relationship with her neighbor and all the different adventures they go on.
Yeah.
And another movie that I really liked was called Song of the Sea, which was up for an Oscar, I think the same year as Big Hero 6, but I'm not positive about that. But that's another one. I think that's out of Ireland. And,
Shillelagh.
and it's just a boy trying to find his family in a way. And it's beautifully done. And I want to say, oh no, it's not stop motion animation, so never mind. But
You could just
it's
play Song of
beautiful.
the Deep. It's pretty much the same thing. Don't worry
And
about
if you're a parent and you have a little girl, there are a ton of My Little Pony movies that are like Equestria
songs.
girls. Oh my gosh, they have amazing songs in them. I can sing way too many of them. But yeah, so that's something to check out for the limited audience.
I'm not so sure.
You never
Might be
know.
some
There
crossover.
are some people that are My Little
the
Pony
bronies out
fans.
there.
The Bronies. What up, Greg Atlas? If you didn't know, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5, best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get every episode early and a bunch of exclusive perks, goodies, and things that Tim likes to give you.
It's true.
Do you like to give them?
I love it.
If you got no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where you can get every episode broken up day by day, topic by topic, until we post the entire thing the following Friday as one big video and MP3. Brianna.
That's not my name, but hey.
Brianne?
Yeah.
I don't like that there's so much going on in the name. And I also just call you Miss
I'm sorry.
Movies all
there
the time.
you go. That's all right. It's a common mistake.
But why? Do you have you ever thought about changing your name?
No, never.
But really?
I mean, when
Brianne's
I
a
was
lot
little, I wanted.
I
to be
feel like I hear
Kelly.
Brianna more than Brianne.
What?
Am I wrong?
Probably. Yes. No, you're correct.
Do you feel like you
Colin's
hear
face right now is my favorite
Brianna
part of
more
this
than
day.
Brianne?
So you hear it more?
Yeah. What name do you hear more? Brianna, Brianna?
Oh, do you hear more? I thought you were like, you expect more.
In
from-
popular culture.
Oh, no.
Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
There.
that's kind of
That's what
like.
Oh, you guys are
swaying me.
such Game of Thrones.
Sorry.
Miss Movies.
Yes.
On Twitter. It's been up the entire time. Tell me about your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel is youtube.com/hit or miss movies. Get it? Hit or miss movies.
Ah.
By
Explain
get
it
it, do you mean
again,
you
I don't
didn't
get
get
it.
Miss Movies, so you had to go with that?
Everybody go like, subscribe, share.
There's a longer story to
Oh
it.
my
but
God.
I won't do that. I won't
Underscores
do that
were
now.
involved.
Until next time, it's been a pleasure to serve you.